Bang, 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 bang. And welcome to the Fantasy Football Mafia.
Woo! Welcome everyone.
Welcome.
Today,
Bang, bang,
joined by the man, the
bang,
myth,
bang.
the legend, Joseph Ozeru. What's up, guys?
And we have our, if you see us on YouTube, we got our guys in the back, our buddies.
That's the
Welcome to
Mafia
the
back
Mafia.
there. You might know them. I don't know.
I know them. It doesn't get any bigger than these guys, right? I mean, Goodfellas, Scarface,
Who's behind
Godfall,
you on the other side of your big head? Oh, the
Soprano,
Sopranos.
Goodfellas. Actually,
Those are top guys.
who, if you had to pick a number one gangster movie, what would you pick? If someone comes up to you and says, "Pick me what's the number one gangster movie there is?"
My number one gangster movie? My favorite is the
Mafia
Godfather.
movie, gangster, whatever,
The
shooting,
Godfather.
violence.
Godfather 1 and 2 is the best. It's
Over
hands down.
Goodfellas?
Goodfellas is like third. I have Godfather. It's just a better storyline, and it's so long and it's so good. The
Yeah, that's one of
acting.
the reasons why I actually never saw it because it was so long.
You never see. You're part of the Mafia, and
Yeah,
you've never seen the Godfather.
50 years ago, but
Wow, you're about to be killed right now from the Mafia.
yeah, I gotta watch it. But I have Goodfellas by far number one. It's just great. It's
It's good. But once you see the Godfather, you'll put it number 2. Sure.
yeah, I don't know. I'll watch it. I gotta see it. But anyways, we're doing top 10 wide receivers today. Top 10 fantasy wide receivers.
All right, man. Let's get into it. You're gonna start this time, so you don't copy my picks.
Number one, I have Adams.
This is assuming Aaron Rodgers is playing.
Assuming Aaron Rodgers is playing. The funny thing is, if you're looking at average ADP, Diggs is going ahead of Adams from what I see.
And I don't understand why.
Yeah, I don't understand why. I mean, maybe it's
they must assume Rodgers is not playing.
It has to be because of that. But Adams, it's you look at someone like Hill, there's a little bit more, there's Kelsey on the offense. There's a little bit more guys that Mahomes can throw to. But in if you want another great offense, it's just Adams. So like, there's no other wide receivers that he throws to. So you get a guy in the high-powered offense who's basically the only wide receiver. So I think Adams is number one.
Yeah, I have Adams number 1 too. He was the number 1 last year, and he only played 14 games. He was out for 2 games. He averaged 17.4 throughout the season, which is the highest out of anyone in the league. I don't see why he would take any step down from that. They didn't add anyone spectacular. They didn't add anyone from free agency. They drafted someone in like 4th round or something like that. It's not going to make anything drop from Adams' targets. If Aaron Rodgers comes back, Adams is still the number 1 target. There's just no.
And also, Adams is a free agent after this year, isn't he?
He's a free agent, so that's even better.
That's it. He's in the contract year. I mean that you don't play with the guy's money. The guy is gonna go all out when it comes to money.
Yeah.
So and what's his name? Adams stuck up for Rodgers this year. So I imagine with Adams in the contract year, Rodgers is going to throw him the ball a little bit more, so he gets that nice big contract. So
and he trusts him so much. They have such a good chemistry. It's like he can't go wrong, and that's one of the stacks I want to actually get next year is a Rodgers Adams stack. That's one of the best stacks you can have.
Yeah, actually, a lot of these top wide receivers, you can go with the quarterback wide receiver combo. I mean, a lot of these wide receivers that we have at the top generally have really good quarterbacks, which brings me to my number 2 on the list. I have Diggs. Okay. So some people might have Tyreek Hill ahead of Diggs. If you look at the Kansas City offense, again, there's Hill, there is Kelsey, and Hill is more of a huge playmaker. I feel like if he's not getting the big plays, he's not going to put up the big numbers. Diggs, like the volume is just there. Like they literally just throw to him every single play. They brought in Emmanuel Sanders. Again, I don't think he's really going to take a lot of targets away from him. They have absolutely no running game. Josh Allen is a running game, so I think they're just going to throw. So I really like Diggs, one of the best route runners in the league. So Diggs, I think, is a great number 2 wide receiver.
Yeah, I have actually Hill number 2. The reason being, you said it about the big plays, but it's not like it's non-consistent. He consistently gets big plays
I don't
almost
think it's something
every
you want
game.
to count on.
I mean, you got to count on it. Like, I get it with other players, but with Tyreek Hill, he's consistently making big plays, and he averaged 16 last year, which was second to first being Devontae Adams.
And I always feel like this. I
Stephon
would
Diggs
feel like,
averaged Stephon
yeah.
Diggs averaged 12.6 average. So that's a big difference. So you see Hill making big plays constantly. Maybe he doesn't get as much volume as Diggs, but like you said, they have Kelsey and the other
Would
guys.
you take the big play potential capability of Hill, or are you a guy who prefers the volume? Because I prefer volume.
Usually I prefer volume, but when it comes to Tyreek Hill, he's a guy who's so explosive, higher than anyone else. He just needs 2 or 3 catches and he's already got huge yards. Any play is a potential touchdown. It's just like I want someone like that on my team where I don't have to he doesn't have to get the ball all the time. Like the times he does get the ball, it could be a huge play. He's like a AJ Brown type of player to me, but like on a much higher level. But 3, I have Stephon Diggs just because of a lot of what you said. Huge volume, great route runner. I mean, I agree with everything you said. I only have Hill higher because, I mean, you look at last year, it was just a big difference. And I think he's going to keep that same pace. He has a better quarterback. So that's the only difference for me. But I like both. I'll be happy with either one.
I have flip flop. I have Hill third. Again, I'd rather have the consistency of the targets going to Diggs over Hill, who I think it's he makes huge plays, but what happens if he doesn't? I mean, that's
but who's more likely to get touchdown?
Personally, I think Diggs.
How he gets like the dip and dunks kind of ones.
If you get closer to the red zone, I think he's the guy who's more likely to score over Hill. Hill, as you get more closer to the red zone, he's a more smaller guy.
He doesn't even need to be in the red zone. That's the thing. Hill can score from anywhere. But I don't know. We differ on that, but
yeah. So
let's move on to number 4. Go ahead.
4th, I have Hopkins. It's a team that just wants to throw the ball. So yeah, he's the number 1 wideout on offense that just likes to throw. And I remember I was going against someone last season who had Hopkins, and literally every single play, just Hopkins, throwing the ball. As a defensive coordinator, I just don't know how you just sometimes don't understand what the offense is trying to do. Like, just double team the guy at this point. They added some weapons like AJ Green. I mean, I don't know how much he has left, but Hopkins, I think, is going to get a lot of targets in that offense. And if you notice something about our top 4 so far, and I think after this wide receiver, do you have Hopkins by chance?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, if you notice the quarterbacks, it's Rodgers, it's Josh Allen, it's Pat Mahomes, and it's Kyler Murray. I think after those top 4, that's where the QBs kind of drop off.
Yeah, they need great receivers, and any one of those stacks will be amazing for your team.
Let me actually ask you this. So which stack would you rather have? Rodgers and Adams, Josh Allen and Diggs, Mahomes and Hill, or Kyler Murray and Hopkins? That's probably hard.
You're really going to hit me with that.
Would you rather have?
You're really going to hit me with that question? That is tough. I'd have to go with I'd have to go with, if I had to choose one.
What offense do you think is going to score the most?
Obviously the Chiefs. The Chiefs are going to score the most.
But do you think Hill's going to score the most touchdowns?
I think Adams is going to score the most touchdowns. And then I would go with Hill, then Diggs, then Hopkins. And if you go with best quarterbacks, I'm going Mahomes. And Rodgers is like the 4th on that list. So, yeah, I'd have to go with the Chiefs. Hill and Mahomes is the best stack out of those 4. How about you?
You know what's crazy? So I'm actually looking at a stat right here. We'll do this in a later episode of which player do we think will regress. Tyreek Hill scored 15 touchdowns last year.
That's a lot.
Do you think he is someone who will do that again?
Yeah, I do. Actually, not 15, but like 12, 13. I don't think he's going to decrease that much. This is 15 games.
Devontae Adams. How many touchdowns do you think he scored last year?
Around the same, 15, 16.
18 touchdowns.
Oh.
18 touchdowns.
But he can get that again. I don't see any digression.
Yeah, I definitely see regression.
Who's your stack? You don't want to answer the question, huh?
I'm going with Hopkins and Murray.
Why?
I'm going Hopkins.
Okay, you have Murray as your third quarterback?
Yeah,
you have Hopkins as your fourth, but you have Allen and Diggs both higher than them. So why are you going with Hopkins and Murray?
It's when they go to the red zone, I think that offense is basically saying, hey, let's go through let's throw to what's his name, Hopkins.
Simple okay, so you're more going for the
when they get closer to red zone stacks. If you look at let me go down the list really quick. When you go closer to the red zone, Aaron Rodgers and Adams, they could run the ball. Aaron Jones can get a handoff and score.
Yeah, but Murray can run the ball and score.
Yeah, but when it comes to Diggs and Allen could run the ball once they get closer to the goal line. Like he scored like a lot of touchdowns, like running the ball. So necessarily, I don't think it can be him. Hill again, it's if it's not deep, I don't think he's gonna get the short touchdown. So I'm not gonna go with him. I'm gonna go with Murray and Hopkins.
I don't know. I don't agree with that one.
But anyways, you have Hopkins fourth next too.
Yeah, I have Hopkins fourth. The issue with the people bring up with him is that he was inconsistent towards the end of the season. Yeah, in the beginning of the season, he was getting high targets, like you said, all the time. But then we found out Kyler Murray is actually dealing with a shoulder injury for most of the season. That could have been a reason why. DeAndre Hopkins actually only had 6 touchdowns last year. Did you know that? So that's very low. And that's bound to go up. That has to go up. So that's why he's pretty high on my list at number 4. It was also his first season last year, and he still put up all those targets. And now he's used to the system. He's got other guys around him. I'll be real confident to take him.
And Cliff Klinsberg, whatever the fuck his last name is, he's on the hot seat. I feel like, so he wants to get the ball to his best players. So if you're gonna go out, you want to go out giving the ball to your best players. So that's what.
They really need to win. They need to make the playoffs this year, or I think he's gonna be fired. TBH.
You went to a Cardinals game before, right?
I went to a couple Cardinal games.
Well, we live in California. Why'd you go to a Cardinals game?
Well, if you had a brain, Brian, we haven't had a Los Angeles team in a while. So when my favorite team, the Panthers, come pretty close to the vicinity of California, I'm gonna go. And they've come to Arizona plenty of times.
The first time you went to Arizona, who did you go with?
Who did I go with the first time? To the Cardinal game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went with Josh.
You didn't go with the girl you met off MySpace?
Oh, sheesh. Let's not talk about that.
Okay.
I have, we have thousands of viewers. She can see this.
Anyways, who do you have with your 5th pick?
I'm listening, Joseph.
Oh, great. Is your pizza ready?
Yeah, she brought it. I'm just like staring at it.
Well, what kind of pizza? Let me guess. Some kind of Italian Brooklyn style pizza.
Yeah, of course.
Well, it's Italian. It's Mafia. Can you do your little accent?
The spicy? Oh, you can't even see it. I got spicy Chipotle pizza.
Spicy pizza?
Let's actually go ahead and rate what a spicy Chipotle pizza tastes like. Let's go ahead and rate it.
Who gets their pizza spicy? It ruins the pizza.
A real man orders spicy pizza. I'm just kidding.
Definitely not as good as regular.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought. Spicy doesn't go well with pizza, just like pineapple doesn't go well with pizza.
Yeah.
You know what pizza I tried the other day that was amazing? Have you ever tried 76 degrees?
Is it called 76 degrees or 86 degrees?
Okay, 1 second. I gotta pause it. Hold on. Okay, we're back.
I just had to finish my pizza.
Kids happen, and Brian was eating his pizza.
What a fucking ripoff, dude! $25 for that fucking box of pizza.
That's a lot. Does it
come? Let us know in the comment section how much someone should be paying for a pizza, because I feel like $25 is way too much.
That's a good question. I would definitely not pay $25. That's like a half a gas gallon nowadays.
Yeah, I didn't fucking think of it like that, man. Fuck.
Come on, you're Jewish. You should know all these analytics.
Oh, man, fuck.
All right, where do we leave off? DeAndre Hopkins was our last one at 4, so now we're heading
number 5.
All right, so go ahead with your number 5.
Number 5, I feel like I have a shocker more with Michael Thomas.
But that is a shocker.
Yep. I'm going with Michael Thomas. And especially at his ADP, which is in the 3rd round right now in the 12th team.
You have some explaining to do.
Look, the guy coming into the year last year was number 1 fantasy wide receiver. The guy gets injured, misses some games, and yeah, his numbers wasn't that good. But when Winston was in there, like they kept throwing him to him still. Like the throws to him was still there. And Winston is a guy who loves to throw to his wideouts. You saw what he did with Evans and Godwin. Bree's little pussy arm can't throw more than 10 yards. But Winston, I mean, he can throw it deep. He can get some long shots. I know Michael Thomas, his nickname is like Slant Boy, so he still can get like a lot of slants. But, I mean, the potential is there where he can get some deep passes now in this offense, which, he wasn't capable of doing before with Brees.
All right, so you would put him over who I have next, Calvin Ridley?
I knew you were going to go Ridley, and this is why I had Ridley one spot down. We've seen this before with Antonio Brown and Juju. Antonio Brown left, and everyone was like, I think you were even on Juju's day. Oh, he's going to get all the targets now. It's not that easy from a number 2 wide receiver now becoming the number 1 wide receiver. It's not that easy.
Well,
being the number 1 wide receiver.
Hold on.
Yeah, being the number 1 wide receiver, you're going to get all the coverage toward your way. You're going to get
how much points has he averaged without Julio Jones? Did you know that? What do you know?
I don't know, 19?
20 points.
Oh, I was close. Okay.
That's a lot. And he's played plenty of games without Julio Jones, and he does great.
Yeah, but also think about this. It's a new head coach. He comes from Tennessee, which was a lot of running the ball, 2 tight end sets.
They're not going to run the ball a lot with Mike Davis as much.
I don't know. I kind of feel like they are because he comes from that system. But
they have a guy like Calvin Ridley. I mean, they're going to get him the ball. He's the top guy now. They have Kyle Pitts, who's, rookie tight end, whatever. Who else do they have? They're going to try to get him the ball as much as they can.
That's it.
Just like we were talking about with Devontae Adams. They're going to try to get Ridley the ball. He's an explosive guy. He's a great route runner. He's a PPR stud. He's getting 10 targets a game when Julio Jones is not in there. That's very good. And I would put him over a guy like Michael Thomas. You're kind of unsure. He has a new quarterback. Didn't show great strides last year. Kept getting injured. He only has 1 route. People are starting to figure that out.
Ridley's going toward the back of the second round, toward the back. Here's some of the names around him. Let me know if you'd rather draft Ridley or a name that I'll give you that's close getting drafted around him. Antonio Gibson or Ridley.
I get Ridley.
No, wow. Okay. Joe Mixon or Ridley?
Ridley.
Clyde Edwards or Ridley?
Ridley. Wow, I'm pretty high on it.
Darren Waller or Ridley?
That's tough. Back of the second?
Back of the second.
I get Waller at that point.
Pat Mahomes or Ridley?
Ridley.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'll go with what you said too.
All right, so now for you, Michael Thomas or Joe Mixon? Back the second.
You see, Michael Thomas is going in 3rd. So the thing is,
well, you have him highly ranked. So he's a guy who you're actually looking to grab.
But I'm bringing also the ADP into it.
Okay, so but let's say scenario, these two guys are there, and they probably will be. So this is a good scenario. In the back of the second, Michael Thomas will probably get picked if you don't get him.
Yeah, I'll go with Mixon. But if I can get Michael Thomas in the third and get two running backs in my first 2 picks, you're set. You are set. Imagine an offense, let's say, I don't know, if you want to get let's say Zeke in the first. What's another running back in the second? Let's say Cam Akers in the second, and then Michael Thomas in the third round. Like, how can you argue with that with your first 3 selections?
That's a pretty stacked lineup. But then I would think in the first, getting someone like, let's say you're in the back of the first and you get someone like Nick Chubb, then you get Ridley in the second, and then the third, you get another running back that'll still be there, like DeAndre Swift. That's still pretty good.
Yeah, it's good.
I'd rather have that lineup, TBH. Anyways, number 6.
So I have Ridley 6. I mean, so again, one of the reasons why I brought him down was, again, it's not very easy for a number 2 wide receiver to step up and take that number 1 spot.
I think I like Ridley a lot more than Juju, though. Like, I think there's 2 different players.
I don't know. You're very high on Juju and you fucking suck. So
no, I was just going with the hype. Okay, that was a bad decision on my part. Speaking of number 2 guys, for number 6, Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson, my guy from last year, who I picked up off of waivers, for about 20 of those. What are those called? The cash? What's that cash called? Waiver cash? What is that waiver cash called?
Oh,
how's it slipping my mind?
That's why we didn't do good in schools, because we knew the shit. But then once they gave us the test, we just forgot everything.
Yeah,
we just stuck under pressure.
Yeah, really. It's like I
was
know.
About to say Cash App. Oh, Fab. Yeah, there we go.
Maybe you're smarter than me. Fab. I wasted 20.
Definitely smarter than you.
That's worth a debate. We had 20.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. I own Fantasy Champion, so that's just proves it right there. So $20 Fab I put on Justin Jefferson, and it did wonders for me. Last year he had 1,400 yards, but look at this. It was only on 125 targets, which is pretty low. And a lot of that.
Okay, but is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, yeah, I'm going to show you right now. It is a bad thing because that's not going to happen again. But it just shows that his targets can only go up from here, knowing his potential. They're going to know his potential from last year and target him even more. A lot of it had to do with they were running the ball a lot and Thielen, of course. But I think now they're going to transition more from Thielen over to Jefferson and just have Thielen more as like the red zone target kind of guy. They're obviously still going to be a running team, but they saw what Jefferson did last year, and they're going to try to get him the ball. And he led the league in yards after catch or after reception. He's another explosive guy. He's like he's one of the best. Randy Moss. He had one of the best rookie seasons I think ever. I mean, there's so much high potential for this guy. I just have a bias because I had him last year and he did wonders for me.
Yeah, he's biased. I know. Everyone knows.
I would. He's a guy I'll definitely get late second round over some of those running backs you mentioned. So, I don't know. It's tough because I know a lot of people are high on Justin Jefferson.
And what pick was that? Your 7th?
He's my 6th.
Oh, was your 6th? Okay. Well, Jefferson I actually have 7th. Okay. So the reason why I actually had Jefferson behind Ridley was, again, they were stealing. They have a really good running game. It's Dalvin Cook is going to get some of those touchdowns. So, I mean, I kind of flip-flop those. I think Ridley's in a better position.
Who finished better last year, Jefferson or Thielen?
Jefferson.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but again, you said he led the league like in yards after catch. Like, that's not an easy thing to repeat.
Yeah, but it shows the talent. It shows the talent, like, he doesn't need as many catches or targets to have great games.
Thielen is the guy who I really like on the opposite side for where he's getting drafted. Let me just see where his ADP is. I think it might be like in the 4th. He's going in the 5th. So answer this. Who's ADP, based on their current ADP, who would you rather have? Adam Thielen in the top of the 5th, or Justin Jefferson in the back of the 12th?
12th?
Back of the 2nd. He's going in the last pick.
Thielen in the 5th. That's a way better deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I
way better deal.
Yeah,
obviously Jefferson, he's still high on my list, but if
last year you had Jefferson, I had Thielen.
Yeah, and I won, and you didn't. So,
yeah, fuck you.
I think the point is settled there. So, number 7, who do you have? You had Jefferson 7th?
Jefferson 7th. Keenan Allen have 8th.
Okay.
He's solid, always put up good numbers. Again, even with the QB change with Herbert, still did good.
That's really high for Keenan Allen. There's a lot of experts, so-called experts out there, who have him at 16 or 17. Did you know that?
Sometimes
I don't even know why, because I actually have Keenan Allen pretty high too.
Yeah, Keenan, you gotta look. Sometimes you gotta look at the division as well. And a team that we like to just make fun of and poke holes in all day is the Raiders. He's facing the Raiders twice this year. And so the Raiders, then he's facing the Chiefs, and it's a high-scoring offense. You're going to have to keep scoring with them. So that's 4 games right there, basically 25% of the season. He does face the Broncos. Broncos has a really good secondary. But, again, Herbert's a really good quarterback, as everyone's seen. The only other guy who might take away some also Hunter Henry's not there anymore. Yeah. So the tight end's not, as strong as it was. It's just Mike Williams. That's the only other option. Mike Williams is only good for one very long pass where he jumps really high, comes down and breaks everything on his body, and they got to cart him off the field. That's all he's good for. So, the only thing I see is talent. Yeah. So, that's basically it.
Yeah, makes sense. I'll talk a little bit more about Allen later. But for now, at 7th, I have DK Metcalf.
I wasn't high on him. I don't even have him in my top 10.
He finished 5th last year, which is great. He played all of his games. Everyone knows what kind of beast he is. He's super fast, super tall. He's still the number 1 receiver on the team. The only slip is that the Seahawks want to be more of a running type. But also the Titans were also a running type last year, and A.J. Brown was a beast just like DK Metcalf was.
Yeah,
Look at the season A.J. Brown had last year while the Titans were a running team. So that's why I don't really see too much concern when it comes to DK Metcalf. I feel like he's still going to have a great season. He's not going to get hurt. He's a beast. He's always open. You can throw it to him downfield. You can throw it to him in the short distance. He can run into a touchdown. I still have him pretty high. I don't see too much concern.
I just don't like that offense. I don't know. I just don't like the Seahawks offense. Russell Wilson, I just feel like is really overrated. Like,
he has an annoying face. That's the only thing I could say.
I hate Russell Wilson, man. He's like one of those guys who just want to punch. Like,
he's like one of those jocks in school who thinks he's so cool, but like tries to be humble at the same time. It's like,
yeah, you see his like his Instagram and shit like that, where it's just like, told my girl, wake up, we're going to Paris. It's like, man, shut the fuck up.
You know who he reminds me of?
Who?
Our friend Andrew. Really annoying.
Andrew can't even afford Paris, so he's like, wake up, I'm taking you to fucking Chuck E. Cheese or get some beer or some shit like that.
Yeah, it's like 2 different levels, but like the same kind of person.
Anyway. They both suck up to their girlfriends and wives, basically. That's basically the thing that I hate.
Yeah, we're hating on him, but it's well deserved.
Yeah.
That was my 7th one. And you already did your 8, so let me go to my 8 now. And he's one of my sleeper guys. That's actually Terry McLaurin.
Wait. I thought Metcalf was your 8.
No, he was my 7th.
Are you sure?
Yeah, bro. I have it right here.
Do you put numbers next to him?
Yeah, I'm organized. That's why I'm fantasy champion. You're not.
Oh, you're organized. Okay. Okay.
I am.
Okay.
Look at this. Look at this all organized, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just fucking
Smarter, more organized.
Yeah, okay.
8, I have Terry McLaurin. If you look at what he did last year, he finished 23rd, which is not that great. But look at the quarterbacks he had. Dwayne Haskins, for God's sakes. Alex Smith, who's not known for giving it to his receivers. Heineke, who did pretty good, but that was like at the end of the year. Some other guy.
Heineke, I just want a beer. I don't know why.
You didn't even drink beer.
It just makes me want one.
Kyle Allen was one of his other quarterbacks. Like, really? Now we have Fitzpatrick, and you might not think it's such an upgrade, but for fantasy, who throws the ball more to the receivers than Fitzpatrick? Who's upgraded the receivers in fantasy more than Fitzpatrick? And now you have him teaming up with Terry McLaurin, the route champion, the unstoppable force. It's going to be crazy. And he's my sleeper pick. I'm hoping to God that I can grab Terry McLaurin in this draft. He's a guy who
is going in the mid-third round.
Dang, that high?
Mid-third round.
I mean, I'll grab him in the third round.
Let me give you some names around there.
Yeah.
Let me know if you're interested. George Kittle or Terry McLaurin?
Shoot.
I'm hoping McLaurin will fall to me. I'm like, who would you rather have? Oh, shit. I don't fucking know anymore.
George Kittle in the third round? Oh, my goodness.
You know, I noticed something about you. Every person that you drafted last year, you're like wet in your fucking panties over.
You know why?
Kittle? Oh, Jefferson?
I'll tell you why. Because I killed it last year. I was whooping it last year. I was fancy champion for a reason.
You drafted Kamara and you took you to the championship.
I didn't even need George Kittle.
Literally, if you check the stat, won like 80% of the championship.
I didn't even need George Kittle. He got hurt at the end of the he got hurt basically all season. That's the one.
Listen. You know what? No. Since you brought it up, I'm going to bring up all the shit that Yosef has done over the past years. So this is the first time you even made the playoffs. Number 2, you drafted Bell first overall when he didn't even play the whole season.
This is a hater talking right now.
You traded AJ Brown for fucking what's his name? Josh Jacobs.
Okay, that was stupid. I admitted it.
Yeah, you literally just do stupid shit.
Still wrong.
This is Kamara. You're proving my point.
I had the number. Okay, let's rephrase. I had the number 1 quarterback, Josh Allen. I had the number 1 running back, Kamara.
Okay.
I had Hunt, who was one of the top backs. I had Justin Jefferson, who was the number 6.
Hold on. Receiver. Josh Allen.
I had AJ Brown, who I traded later on.
Because you know
I had George Kittle. I had the best freaking draft.
George Kittle. What are you bragging about, George Kittle? He didn't do shit for you last.
When he did play, he was great. I had Fuller, who was great when he was playing. I mean, come on.
He was on steroids. And shout out to Miami for picking him up.
Fantasy doesn't care.
Super Bowl.
Anyway, Terry McLaurin, my guy at number 8. Your guy at number 8 was Kyle Allen or
Keenan Allen. The disrespect. The disrespect.
Okay. Go ahead with your number 9 since I went 2 in a row.
I'm going Allen Robinson.
That's pretty high.
This is you know what the thing is? I remember last year, like Allen Robinson just kept dropping and dropping. Like some of the names on the board, I was just like, Allen Robinson was just so much better than. But Allen Robinson just looks like such a disgusting player in that offense. So you're like, yucky. But he puts up
because look at his quarterback.
Yeah, but they keep throwing him every single time. Like if you're a wide receiver. And granted, you're like the least athletic guy I know. They keep throwing you the ball. You're going to get a few catches and a few yards and, score maybe a little bit.
Yeah, kind of like when I caught it and scored against you a couple of years back when I can remember it like yesterday. Driving down to the end zone.
No. Okay, go ahead. Tell your lie.
I jumped for it. I got it.
Tell your lie.
I'll give you it. You had your hands on the ball. But what
hold on.
Ripped it out of your hands.
No, hold on.
Dropped into the end zone. Touchdown!
Let's set it back. We're playing football. Okay, I had more interceptions than you had catches on.
That's not true.
No, that's not 100% true. Number 2, what is your height?
6 feet.
Okay, you have 6 inches on me, and the fact that me and you both had the ball in our hands, and I came back, or when we came down, the ball was in my possession.
No, it was not.
You see these guns? You see these fucking guns?
No, I don't actually.
You couldn't rip that ball out of my hand.
Don't take those to the gun show. You
Yeah,
won't be admitted in. You won't be allowed.
Guns out. No, like I'm a 10 times better football player. 100%. 100%.
Let's play now.
100%.
Let's play now.
You got juked by Fat Andrew. Fat Andrew.
There was lots of sticks. There was lots of sticks on the ground. Okay, there was a pothole, and I didn't have the right shoes.
Andrew, who drinks beer like it's water, juked the shit out of you, and you fell on the ground and ate fucking dirt.
I cut it over your back. I made you something I don't want to say. It's a female dog, and you were there, and I was on top of you.
That day when you played basketball with Andrew, I think it was the same day. It was a different day. You played 1-on-1. You literally had to call timeout in the middle of the game to go fucking start throwing up and start crying. I'm sorry. I can't breathe. I'm going to fucking die.
You know why? I had a 3-course meal right before that. You tried playing with 3-course meal.
He had a 5-course
where were you during this time?
You, okay?
Where were you during this time when we were playing?
I was the ref.
Yeah, exactly. You couldn't even play. You were like on the floor dying. That's why I was apologizing, because I was making fun of you before that.
Look, I'm sorry for making fun of you. I'm just rubbing your head. I know, baby, it hurts. I've been there.
Hey, we actually complimented Andrew. Let's delete this part.
I mean, we're both like out of shape. I mean, I think if we really try, we'll be definitely better than Andrew.
Yeah, and actually beat Andrew 1-on-1.
The guy plays baseball for a sport. I mean, that's like the most pussy sport you can play.
You watch the WNBA. I mean, it's settled.
Yeah, I know.
All right, let's go number 9. Who do you have?
Al Robinson.
Oh yeah. Maybe
no wonder why you dropped out of high school, man. Fucking idiot.
Hey, I went to college, so. Number 9 is a guy you already mentioned, Michael Thomas. Actually wasn't even going to include him in the top 10, but I did think about the Winston, and even if it's the other dude, the white guy, whatever his name is, they're going to get him the ball. He's the main receiver. I don't see him drop, like, the only negative on him was his last year, and he was hurt most of the year. Didn't seem like himself. I think you had him way too high, but if Michael Thomas is there in like the 3rd round at his ADP, I think that's worth it there. I wouldn't get him in the 1st and the 2nd.
Well, look, here's some of the wide receivers going in the 3rd. AJ Brown. Who'd you rather have, Michael Thomas or AJ Brown?
Well, obviously Michael Thomas. I have him ranked higher.
Keenan Allen or Michael Thomas?
Michael Thomas, have him ranked higher.
Terry McLaurin or Michael Thomas?
Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, and those are the wide receivers that are going 3rd round.
Give me some running backs.
Running backs, I don't know how the fuck this is possible. J.K. Dobbins is going in the 2nd round.
I like J.K. Dobbins.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I like J.K. Dobbins, but he's like my 17th running back, so I'm going with Michael Thomas.
Chris Carson's going in the 3rd.
I'll get Chris Carson over Michael Thomas.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that Seahawks offense. It just looks yucky. Miles Sanders.
He's their offense. That's a tough one.
You know who's really a part of the Seahawks offense that just no one wants to admit?
Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, that's just the guy. You know.
I mean, no one ever wants to get him, but he usually has pretty great seasons. I mean, last year he finished 11th.
Yeah, because one of his games he had like 100 points.
Yeah, that was against me too, of course.
Yeah. And then Miles Sanders is also in the 3rd round.
That's tough, but I think I'd take Miles Sanders.
Here's actually funny. These running backs are going right after each other. Who would you take in the 3rd? Miles Sanders, DeAndre Swift, Josh Jacobs, David Montgomery.
Definitely not Jacobs. We can take him out.
Yeah, he's the last one too.
Oh, that's tough. Montgomery. Who's the other ones?
Montgomery, Swift, or Sanders?
Let me look at my rankings.
Let me eat my pizza.
See who's more dedicated to you, Fantasy Mafia? Me. I do my research.
No, the thing is,
my organization.
You have a fucking girlfriend who just keeps eating all the slices. You got to finish it for
eats pizza.
She does. This is what she leaves behind. You see this? This is what she leaves behind.
Wow.
I'm sitting here talking while she just keeps eating. This is good.
There's someone in Africa starving right now, and you're just leaving that crusty pizza?
That's what she did.
Let's see. Where's my other? Dang. Can you remind me? Montgomery.
It was not even 5 minutes ago where you're like, I'm more organized. I'm more dedicated. I have a GED or whatever bullshit is. It was Montgomery, Swift, and Sanders.
I'd get Swift.
Okay. Yeah, I don't hate that.
I get Swift. He's more all around player, and I feel like he's like Montgomery's pretty close because he's gonna get a lot of volume, but I feel like Swift's gonna get more of the catches. So if this is a PPR league, I'm going with Swift.
Mm-hmm. And again, everything that we're doing is PPR. If you are in the standard league, remember your commissioner is an enemy. No one should be doing standard anymore.
Yeah. So would you rather get DK Metcalf or Chris Carson in the 4th round or 3rd round?
Gosh, man, it's such a yucky offense.
Let's see your choice.
I'm gonna go based on position. I'm gonna go with Carson.
You rather go running back at that point.
So many good wide receivers. I'd rather go with Carson.
All right. To top it off with our 10th pick. Well, who'd you have number 9? You had Allen Robinson. I have Keenan Allen, who we touched on earlier. 147 targets last year. But guess what? How many yards do you think he had?
Keenan Allen?
Yeah.
I'll probably say 1,100.
992 yards.
He didn't even break 1,000?
He didn't even break 1,000 yards, which is quite shocking.
That's crazy.
But the targets, the volume is there. Herbert is a great quarterback. They lost Hunter Henry, like you said. He's the only guy. He's going to get these targets. He's going to get the volume.
It's funny. Speaking of Hunter Henry, they replaced him with Jared Cook.
Oh.
They replaced him with Jared Cook. Pro Football Focus rated Jared Cook last year as the worst blocking tight end in the history that they ever been scouting for tight ends. Yeah, he was ranked as the worst blocking tight end that they have ever scouted.
Just from last year or his whole career?
History. No, history of any tight end. Because Pro Football Focus has been around for a little while. As long as Pro Football Focus or PFF has been giving rankings and ratings, he has been the worst blocking tight end last year in the history of the NFL.
That's terrible. What is he? He can't block?
He can't block. He's just like a big wide receiver. They call him a tight end.
They should just put him at wide receiver at this point.
So you do have to wonder just about Eckler or any running back for Chargers because
but Kamara did just fine last year.
Yeah, and passing work.
No, Eckler's a passing guy. I don't think it's going to affect him too much. Who's your number 10?
I feel like I'm going to upset like a lot of people, but I'm going to go with Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper. Before Dak got injured, Cooper was on a tear. I think Cooper was actually ranked the number 1 wide receiver.
I don't know what it is about Cooper. I'm going to let you finish, but I just want to say one thing.
That he just looks boring?
He looks boring.
He looks uninterested.
He looks uninterested.
He looks like football's not his best sport.
He looks like football's not his best sport. Anything else you want to add to my mouth? It's because he was a former Raider. It's just
you know who Amari Cooper reminds me of? Jay Cutler. He's like the wide receiver version of Jay Cutler. Just like doesn't look like he gives a shit about anything.
But I like Jay Cutler. I don't like
Jay Cutler.
Why? I like that not give a shit attitude. Very careless.
Your quarterback.
I feel like he cared about his team. I think he just didn't.
Man, the guy didn't give a shit about his marriage either. It looked like and they got divorced, too. The guy just doesn't give a shit about anything.
I kind of envy it. I don't know.
Cutler, I remember he's going through his divorce, and I forgot what he did, but he did something to block all his assets or some shit like that, because wife gets half. And then not only that, his wife was actually famous too, so she has money. So instead, he sued her and tried to get half of everything that she got. So he's
Ballin'.
yeah, man.
Yeah, guys, if you're gonna get married in America, protect yourself because it's terrible out there.
Or just have nothing. If you have nothing, then you can get married.
Yeah.
But if you have something, don't get married.
Or just protect yourself.
Yeah, wear a helmet. Protect yourself.
Yeah, football terms.
Wear a helmet.
So shoulder pads.
Yeah, Cooper.
Yeah,
Cooper again. Don't forget, he was number 1 wide receiver for Prescott went out.
That's it.
So, yeah, I mean the guy was doing great. He was doing really good, and that's a really good offense. Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Zeke, they're gonna get close to the red zone. And from watching Cowboys games, they looked for Cooper first in the red zone, and if he wasn't open, then they kind of looked around. But Cooper was always the first read in the red zone.
Yeah, he got a lot of targets. He's actually my number 12 on my list. So, yeah, I can see why. Especially with Prescott back, makes sense. I'm just surprised you didn't have DK Metcalf in your top 10 at all.
I just don't like that offense. I think it's a yucky offense. It's not a fan of the Seahawks.
What if he was there in the 4th round?
Metcalf?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll draft him. You got to sometimes look based on value.
See,
Obviously,
this is your issue. You don't like players, but you just draft them because they're there. And this is why you don't win.
I'm judging based on me paying $25 for a box of pizza. I'm really horrible at it. Judge of value. So I feel like I got ripped off. So when it comes to value, I'm horrible at it. Clearly.
So, okay. You're more an ADP kind of guy. You just want the best value you're going to get you put the value of ADP above your own values on a player.
Not quite.
Yeah.
It's if I think a player is worth more, or at a certain position or in the round or whatever, I go based off that. Like sometimes I'll draft a player just to piss someone else off, use them as trade bait later. So a lot goes into the draft.
Okay, so you're saying you'd probably use DK Metcalf as a trade bait at that point.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not.
I wouldn't want to really go through that. Like, I want to draft my team I want, and then I don't want to worry about trading. That's just me.
You could, the thing is, like, for example, there's a guy who I really, really like, and some other team got him. I'm like, you know what? Let me see if I can draft like a nice collection of big names and use them all as trade bait for a package and get the guy who got drafted. So, I mean, a lot goes into it.
Yeah. All right, just to recap, my number 1, Devontae Adams.
Who's your 10?
Huh?
Who's your 10?
Yeah, I'm about to say it right now. Oh, my 10 was Keenan Allen. Number 1, I had Devontae Adams. 2, Tyreek Hill. 3, Stephon Diggs. 4, DeAndre Hopkins. 5, Calvin Ridley. 6, Justin Jefferson. 7, DK Metcalf. 8, Terry McLaurin. 9, Michael Thomas. 10, Keenan Allen.
I'm not going to repeat what I said because you fuckers better have listened to me the very first time I spoke.
He didn't write it down. He's not organized.
I wrote it down.
Recap it.
Okay, so let's make a bet if I did or not. So if the loser buys food.
No, I'm not betting.
Come on.
No, you obviously wrote it down.
Oh, now you're on my side. Okay, that's what I thought.
When you said it, I believe you. I just don't know why you didn't say it the first time.
Okay.
All right, you gonna say it now?
Adams, Diggs, Hill, Hopkins, Michael Thomas, Ridley, Justin Jefferson, Keenan Allen, Allen Robinson, and Amari Cooper. The
Not
true
bad.
top 10 wide receivers.
I feel like mine was better, but we'll go with that.
No, mine's definitely better.
So we're gonna do 11 through 20.
Leave a comment letting us know who had the better top 10.
Yeah, leave us a comment. Any of your 5 viewers that are watching, leave us.
Yeah, just leave a comment about anything. But what's your favorite pizza?
Literally, we need comments.
Say something, man.
And if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, what the hell is wrong with you, man? Support us. It doesn't take much. You just press the button. Even if you never watch an episode, it makes us look good that you have a subscriber.
God.
Look at us. Support us.
Look at us.
Look at our beards, man.
Support the guys with the beards. Not a lot of guys can grow beards.
Yeah, we're supporting real masculinity out there.
Yeah, no feminism who supports WNBA.
No feminists around here, definitely.
If you like the WNBA, get the fuck out of our podcast.
Or baseball. Or
and baseball. Or
well, if you like the Raiders, you could stay, but maybe try to find a different team.
Yeah. Anyways, on the next episode, we're going to be doing the 11 through 20.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. That's really tough. I actually got it. I got it ready, and it was hard. It was harder than the top 10, that's for sure. Because there's so many good receivers.
So many good wide receivers. I think you can go up to like almost 30. If I was actually looking at some rankings before, Beckham was ranked in the 30s. Odell Beckham. Like there's that much depth when it comes to wide
high on Beckham, but we'll get into that on the next episode.
A lot of wide receivers. That's right. Wait till next episode, kids.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the Mafia. Like, comment, even if it's just a letter, something like that. Who beard you like most? I don't know. Just do it. Thank you. Until next time.